Hey, what's up, my friend? Joe Martin here. 750 credit score on Instagram, your favorite big brother, the simplicity genius. If you stay with me for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you a strategy on how to touch 50K to 150K in 7 to 14 days. As you already know, I'm a big advocate on taking the liability off the person and carrying the liability on the business. Okay. A lot of you guys are already seasoned business owners, and you probably know some of the information that I'm about to tell you. And a lot of you guys probably just inspired entrepreneurs, or you just beginning to start your business. Okay. I'm going to break down a lot of information to you right here in the next 5 minutes. I want you to make sure you take a notepad, take a pen, write this information down, because this information will help you scale and grow anything that you're doing in your life and in your business. Okay. So with that being said, let's break down some of this information. Let's break down some of this knowledge. I'm gonna pull this screen up real quick. Let's see what we got. First thing first, as you all know, I always talk about optimizing the personal credit profile. Okay. As business owners, we have a lot of business owners that do have challenge credit because they utilize a lot of their personal credit cards to scale and grow their business. So if you know that utilization makes up 30% of your score. So in that 30%, you're getting 165 points on the personal credit score. So to get the bulk of that 165 points, you want to make sure that your utilization is between 1 and 6%. And I'll break down a little bit about how to maintain your utilization. First thing first, when we're going to get working capital, I want you to understand that if you can control what the bank see, then it'll determine what you get from the bank. Okay. The bank is a risk industry. Okay. So they're looking at the risk factors. The lower the credit score, or the more challenged the credit score, the higher the risk for that consumer or that business owner. The higher the credit score, the lower the risk. But I don't want you all to focus on score. I don't want you to be score driven. Everybody always call me. They be like, Joe, my score this, my score that, my score this. So one guy called me one time. He said, Joe, I got a 760 credit score. I keep going into the banks. The bank's not giving me anything. They should give me everything because of my 760 credit score. So I had to tell him, I said, let me set up a profile. Let me break your file down and let me see why you keep running into this problem with the banks. So when I looked at his file, true, he did have a 760 credit score, but the content on the score was poor. The content on the profile was poor. I'm sorry. It's always content versus score. Okay. I can have somebody with a 760 credit score with poor content that won't get nothing from the banks, or I can have a person with a 680 credit score with great content that'll go in the bank and get everything. So the first thing that I want you guys to understand is that it's very important that you optimize your personal credit profile. And when I say optimize your personal credit profile, I mean you want your personal credit profile to look a certain way. Okay. I like to see at least 10 primary accounts on the file. So if you don't know about primary accounts, right, you have authorized user accounts and you have primary accounts. A primary account is an account that you are responsible for. You are the primary account holder of that account. Okay. An authorized user is somebody adding you on one of their credit cards, and the data from that card is tracking over on your credit profile. If you didn't know, the scores are created based on the data that's being reported towards on your credit profile. And what I mean by data is just like your responsibilities and how you've been handling your business with other financial institutions and other businesses and things like this. This is why a lot of these companies report when you have a derogatory or a negative situation. This is why they report to the credit reporting agencies, because they know that if somebody else or another financial institution looking at your credit profile and they see some derogatory things and they see some negative things, they probably will not do business with you. So you won't be able to move forward with anything that's already derogatory or negative on the file. So what that financial institution is hoping that you will run into a lot of brick walls, and eventually you will say, you know what, let me go over here and straighten this situation up, because this is the situation that's keeping me from moving forward with this other situation that I'm trying to establish. So it's very important that you optimize your personal credit profile. And when I say optimize, I'm not only talking about the 10 primary accounts, I'm talking about anything that's negative on your profile, anything that's deemed as derogatory, a late payment, a charge off, a collection. These things are very important to get removed from the file because you don't want anything to hinder future relationships that you're going to establish with other financial institutions. Now, the reason that I talk about personal credit so much is because a lot of times when you starting to go get business credit, because remember I said we want to take the liability off the person and we want to put all of the liability on the business. Okay. And that does several things. First, it protects the person, because if we carry in the liability on the person and things go left, right? And what I mean by go left, like you might miss a late payment, or you might catch a late payment. I'm sorry. You might run into hardships that will stop you from satisfying anything that you got going on with other banks or other financial institutions. It's so many things that could happen, man. There's so many people dealing with certain credit challenges. You could throw a penny in the air and it's liable to hit somebody dealing with some type of credit challenge. But you have to optimize your personal credit profile, because once you start moving around in business, if they ever ask you, hey, do you mind being a personal guarantor? Now, a personal guarantor means that even though I'm applying for a business banking product, they might want to go look at my personal credit profile to back up for collateral on this business banking product that I'm trying to get or that I want to get. Okay. So if they do go look at your personal credit profile, you know that you already optimized it. You know that it's already looking a certain way. You know that the banks are going to love what they see because you already cleaned it up. You understood how to optimize it. You understood how to position it so that if they do go look at it, right? If they do go look at it, you want to be in position for them to say, yes, I like what I see.